Now, I feel like, Doug, you're co-hosting the show today. I feel like you're getting way too many words in, so I'm going to put an end to that and bring Geno Bisconte.
Guys,
What's
look
up,
at me,
Geno?
guys, just stop looking at me, guys.
By the way, if they want to have me back on MLC last I knew, I think this is probably the end of that.
Guys,
a real good chance I don't get an invite anymore.
Guys, Bryan, you stop looking at me, guy. What are you doing, guy? Dude, I got in at 3 and I said, take your time. I was fucking enjoying the fuck out of this. I have
more clips, but I wanted to get your take on what you saw, what you witnessed
Doug,
this week, Geno.
I said the same thing. I'm like, God, I immediately texted E-Rock and I'm like, it is the line. And I'm sorry if you haven't seen it. It's one of the greatest movies ever, Midnight Run. And the guy screaming at one of his 2 henchmen, the late Paul Sorvino. And he just looks at the other guy. He's like, he ain't mad at me, is he? And that's what I thought watching fucking Bryan when he's shitting on Shuli and Levy. And I call E-Rock. I'm like, Bryan likes me, right? He likes me. I'm not in the and he sent me. He's like, he's mad you haven't had him on his show. I'm like, you out of your mind? He can come in studio, do whatever the fuck he wants. And it was, I was watching, and look, I'll say this again. Fuck the writers' strike. Suck a giant dick. Sit there, Carl. Suck a dick. Because all the writers have done, and this leads into the MLC, and I say this on In Hot Water, is for the past 3 years furthered the narrative bullshit. Hey, I'm a writer. I wrote Dance with Vaccine Needles, comedy ensues.
Yeah.
Go behind the mic, Colbert, and say Donald Trump was arrested, grin smugly and wait for applause. Like, suck my dick, writers. And I'm at the age now, I'm not dating as hot a young chick as you, Bryan, married wife. But I mean, the first thing I check now is YouTube. I look for fucking this, and I look for fucking Steel Toe. I know you don't like him. I look for Chrissy's podcast. I look for fucking the BS show, not to be confused with the Miserable Men show, which is the same show with a different backdrop, but I love them both. This is what I watch. And the writers are like, we need to be paid more. Why? You're being hung out to fucking dry. And as my girl Kiana calls it, I sub to the Real Housewives of YouTube, Vanderpump Rules, MLC. And when you went on, Bryan, I'm watching and I'm screaming, and it's always about me. I'm like, I was right, because when I went on with Chad, we have to say Chad. When I went on
Geno
with him,
is a co-host with Chad Zumock now.
I lost my mind for 2 reasons.
Done a show twice.
The second time I went on, I gave him a week. That's 7 days, or the length of a 2-hour show of Kevin Brennan solo streaming. 7 days I gave him, because the last thing I said in the first one was what? When I basically brought up the fact that you lied, Chad.
Yeah, what did I lie about is what you asked him.
And did I not go? You basically lied. Your first lie dragged the boss in. You changed the lie so they wouldn't realize the second one was a lie, and you kept the boss in both. And by the way, the guy that hit you said was the guy from Stoney's, so you attacked all these people. And he goes, everyone lies in podcasting. And I said, I don't. And that was another lie. It's like, I did it as a bit. Chad, you're fucking DIM retarded.
It's funny because we were playing that clip, and my buddy Blind Mike was saying how he's like, does he think that Joe Rogan has a big audience, or Tim Dillon, because they're just lying all the time? He's like, everyone in podcasting lies.
Does.
No, that's not even close to true.
And then I gave him a week. And what did he do in that week? Well, I was lucky enough to get him the day that friggin' Kevin Brennan, who behind a paywall, we have clips of him dropping N-bombs, and the man that fucking literally says fucking followed immediately by the N-word. Okay, that's racist. Okay, and this is something I say. I'm like, I never say that word without thinking first, because I have a point to it. But this is where Godfrey gets his info. He goes after Chad. Chad is backpedaling. You brought it up perfectly. And when I go on, for all the people that said I went on yelling, go back and watch. I said, okay, Chad, you've had a week. What did I lie about? And what does he say? He tries to be funny. Oh, my God.
I can't believe Geno made this about him. I'm shocked. I wasn't expecting that to happen.
Here's, guys, look at me, guys. But here's my point, and it guys.
right.
But here's my point, and I mean it. Simply put, thank you for to quote Stewie. Now we get to the
Carl,
center
are
of
you
the
just
court.
playing a video?
I know. Are we even having a conversation right now?
It's a loop.
I'm not even sure. Guys,
I'm not being standoffish. That was really funny, and I'm letting everyone laugh at it. It's not. Fuck you, Doug. So what I'm saying.
all right, back to the Geno show.
Guys,
Take it away,
guys,
Geno.
it's all me. Hey guys, look at me. Look at me.
right.
Everyone's back. But simply put, like I said, Chad, what did I lie about? He tried to be funny, and then I lost my mind because I was the reason you fucking broke MLC, Bryan, is because you were a guy that doesn't lie. And I gave Chad the opportunity. I'm like, Chad, if you just admit and say, I lied on MLC, Geno never lied, I would have had credibility, but I didn't. So I screamed at him and left, and you called him out. But when you went on, oh my God, Bryan, it was a chef's kiss, and you said it perfectly. Chad's too stupid to know to bring you on. Your wife fucking said he'll come on. And then then Chad was like, and Chad really does suck at his job. He really does. But it's like you were just spouting truth after truth, and people are like, and Chad doesn't even know how to respond to the truth. He's like, yeah, and the more you said shit, like I literally texted Brennan. I'm like, and I owe a lot to Bob. He helped me get started in comedy, and I can watch from a different perspective now. He's got to get out of there, but he's sick of Kevin. And he's sick of Kevin's lies, and he just watches him lie, and he doesn't care. But as my father used to say, he didn't know whether to shit or go blind. So when you were going to go on and shit on Shuli, Bob's like, now I got to put up with two people I've got to fucking ignore when they shit on people because I need the super chat money.
Wow.
And he said, don't come on. And when you brought him on, when you were on Chad's show, the moment the chef's kiss, when Bob, and I love Bob, but when Bob goes, put him on. No, dummy. Kevin Brennan broke. You didn't want him on. He went somewhere else, and he's shitting all over you, and now you want him on? Suck my dick, and I will let you get up and do it this time. Suck my dick.
So
you're broken.
Geno, you actually said something to Chad that I thought was interesting.
I said a lot of stuff. Put it on me. I can see too many people. Put it on me. I'm kidding.
No, but what you said, though, is you go, Bob is we can save Bob. He can be saved from this whole situation. Now, I think that Bryan has a different opinion on that based on what Bryan was saying.
I don't really hate Bob that much. He annoyed me though when he started saying shit about me without knowing. Because it's like in the same breath he's like, he doesn't even know Shuli. Why would he come on and talk shit about him? He doesn't fucking know me. I never met Bob Levy, but he has no problem talking about shit about me all the time.
Good point. That's a pretty good point. And I want to play just a couple more clips here because Chad talks about how he lied to me the first time he came on WATP. And like when he sent me the first note he ever emailed me, he's like, I'm a huge fan of the show. I want to come on. And now he's going to tell you how he's lying. He was lying about that.
It was entertaining. So I reached out to him. I wasn't really like a listener, but I said, hey, I'm a big fan, whatever, because he had a lot of followers. I'm like, I'll come on the show. And it didn't go well. I had an idea of what I wanted to do. I was like in a feud with Chrissy Mayer. And then,
That's very telling that he goes, I lied to Carl and said I liked the show because he has a lot of followers. That's the way Chad thinks. And he thinks everyone thinks that way, and they don't.
Yeah.
I don't lie to people and tell them I'm a fan of theirs if I don't watch their show. That's ridiculous.
You said it perfectly. Like he's gonna fucking break his neck doing these 180s. He is, and this is the problem. And I've compared the MLC chat, which is why I can enjoy it more. It's like they are the fucking Romans just throwing out super chat money, so these guys will keep attacking each other. You know what I mean?
Well,
they think it's real.
It's a perfect segue. Speaking of the 180s, I couldn't believe Chad said this.
So I mean, I don't even hate Carl. I really don't.
What? I think, and I remember I was listening. I think it's when you kind of trolled him, where you were like, "Stuttering John's a good guy." And I remember listening to that show, and having listened to every episode of WATP, I'm like, I wasn't really that familiar with you, so I was like, what is this guy doing? Like, why is he doing this? It kind of fucked up the show. It fucked up the flow of the show. And
that's my job.
That's where Carl's
that's my job, guys.
Guys, started.
Guys, he's stealing my bit, guys.
Geno. Geno, there's some people on the subreddit who are not going to enjoy your appearance today. I'm just going to predict
Space
that.
Force is killing me with what he's writing. Carl's superpower is understanding what Geno's talking about. Geno could start an argument in an empty room. He goes, run Geno EXE. Guy's fucking scatting and bebopping all over me.
I have one more clip that I have to play, and then we can move on from this. But this is, I mean, it's so embarrassing. Like, one of the things that that I guess Chad was saying and you were saying, Brian's like, oh, this guy's an old guy and that guy's an old guy. And it's like, we're all old guys. Like, all of us. Look at all of us. We're all old men having these fucking ridiculous, I don't even know what to call it. These
high school.
feuds. Yeah, these high school feuds on the internet. It's all so silly.
This is the best hospice care I could get, guys. Give me a break.
But I thought that, Bryan, you made a great point here. And again, Shuli is my friend, I hope. But this is a very good point.
Well, that's another thing that Shuli said, that like he was just like, I'm sorry I stole Jocktober from the guy who stole Jocktober. And if Shuli's so fucking stupid that he doesn't see the difference between Carl taking a bit that's been dormant for over 10 years and taking a bit from your friend that he's currently doing and turning it into a full-time show that have 2 episodes a week, I'm sorry, then you're just a fucking idiot.
Wow.
Like, if you don't see the difference between the two, and then to beat it into the ground so that, like, and that this is the thing I hated, is that he made me sympathize with John. Because John's human garbage, to borrow a fucking phrase from KB. But, like, anytime John was on and Carl was talking about him, you're just like, you draw your own conclusions. You're like, my God, this guy's such a piece of shit. And then Uncle Rico, I watched a couple episodes. It sucks so bad I couldn't continue to watch. But it's just like 80 episodes in, it's like they're looking for shit from, like, you know, the 90s, when, you know, just to keep going so they can keep hammering him. And I don't know. It seemed too bullying for me and mean.
It reminds me of when Flanders asked Homer, did you have to pour salt on the land so that I couldn't grow anything? And Homer's just like, yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, not only did you steal the bit, but you also ruined it for everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the point you were trying to make there.
Yeah, the final straw was when he was doing the Balin Dupree shit. I was like, this guy has no fucking shame.
Wait,
this is
really?
insane.
You're lying. You're joking about that.
He did the exact same TikTok clips that you did of Balin. This is going back like a month or 2, maybe. When I saw that, I was like, this is insane.
That's funny.
I can't believe it.
I didn't even know that. I think someone told me that. I thought they were joking. That's fucking crazy.
And then Shuli did come back at me. And I'll admit, I may be going through PTSD due to his brutal takedown.
Ooh.
I don't know do you have that? Do you have that clip of him coming back at me? I sent you the Reddit post.
Oh shit! Did you email it to me?
I seen a clip of, I think, Shuli responding to you where he was saying, I'm sorry that some of us know famous people and some of you don't, or something along those lines.
Right. Well, his first thing was, you know, if you don't have it, it's fine.
Did you email it to me or text it to me, Bryan?
Texted it to you.
Okay, let me pull that up then. Go ahead.
The first thing is that, like, I'm not sure who he's sitting next to. It might be a producer.
Oh, Iso. Yeah, Iso Do. I'm friends with him too.
I gotta see this.
I don't know that guy, and I'm about to say something bad about him, so sorry, he's your friend.
I'll pull this up. I have it here.
Okay.
So somebody put this on the Shuli's Anonymous subreddit.
All right.
Look at Bryan. He's producing my show now. This is great. I love it.
It's like The Simpsons when Bart goes, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, Chief. No, if you don't, nobody's going to do it.
People when it was against
then he says,
KB.
I'm sorry.
You want to do more Simpsons quotes with us,
Let's go through the whole episode.
I did. I'm so sorry.
I'm actually going to do Why Are You Laughing, which is Blind Mike's show about the history of comedy. I'm going on a show on Tuesday. We're talking about The Simpsons. So I'm excited for that. I don't even know how to prepare for that. Jesus Christ. You want to be part of that?
I will say this to give your co-host credit, Bryan. Like, when I was like, and I know he's your dear friend, fucking Carl, your fucking buddy Pat Dixon, who's hit 3 women now, 4 if you include me. Like, I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind screaming at E-Rock. Like I said, if E-Rock ever wants to have fun, he should just post this. Like, they'd be rambling, screaming, screeching, and he would just send me a Simpsons meme, and I would be like, I'm sorry, buddy, thank you. It would just make it all better. Like, I don't know why you're putting up with me.
That's so good funny to know.
It's funny.
Yeah.
That's how you quell me.
When it was against Bob and KB, he has BJ on against you, and you are against him.
No, that's not the same thing.
No, and
It's not the same thing.
I don't know if he wants you to call him BJ, by the way, but
Can you pause it?
No,
That is a joke I have been immune to since probably 1975, 76.
Yeah.
So this is why I say Shuli fucking sucks, is that like he thinks that a joke that people used against me in 4th grade still holds up in 2023.
That's Ray DeVito's closer, fuck sticks. He heard it at a fiber optics convention. I hate you.
And the guy, like, he's worse than Shuli because he's enabling Shuli.
Yeah.
Shuli now thinks that joke is funny.
All right. Do you want to watch any more of this clip? Is there more to it?
No, I don't think there's any more to it than that.
What about the other one? You want to check out the other one?
The other one I would like to break down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to watch any more. He got you fucking right through over the coat with that BJ. Yeah, turn it off, cry baby. I don't want BJ to cry.
This is why Geno's here.
Blowjob.
Guys, I'm down here, guys.
Or wait, maybe that was the one. Okay, yeah, he responds to my comments. Okay.
All right. Well,
a-hole on Chad's show.
if Brian's able to recover from that sick burn, then we'll get his take on this video.
Brian Johnson told
that's
you a new
perfect.
a-hole on Chad's show. Said 2 people to me today. I'm very happy that Brian finally got on a show where he could voice his hatred for me. Well deserved too. I mean, I remember when I fucked him over years ago. Oh no, wait, I didn't do that. Well, at the time where I beat up, no, I didn't do that. In fact, I didn't do a goddamn thing to this guy. He's so desperate to get my attention. He's saying that I'm smug and cocky.
Well, you chased Stuttering John off the internet, and I think that a lot of WATP listeners are bummed about that. To be honest with you,
Yeah, it's not 2 people. Look, I don't go around looking for comments about myself or anything, but like I do read the subreddits and I go to YouTube, and it was more than 2 people, Shuli.
Smug and cocky. Look out. I'm sorry, I'm sorry that some of us believe in themselves and some of us are friends with celebrities. That's all. But
Okay.
what does that mean?
So that means that
Sounds like something Chad would say.
Yeah, that was
what
weird.
I'm reading as smug and cocky is really wildly misplaced confidence.
I was thinking insecurity.
That could be too, and it's just like what does me having? Yes, I admit it. I'm ready to confess. I do have some famous friends.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck that has to do with my dislike of Shuli, but
I would even categorize it as like, again, I'll tie this into the writer's strike. Fuck you. When's it gonna? There's a new model, okay? And I would call what? What?
We just love how you're returning to the writer's strike.
No, because
I want to hear every word you have to say about it.
Brian, real quick before we get into the more writer strike conversation.
it's not, but fuck me. Go on. I'm sorry, Doug.
What percentage of your patrons do you think signed up because you're friends with Kevin?
I would have to go initially, maybe some, but 5 years later, I would put it at about 0%.
That's fair.
There's no fucking way. Just like when people are like, oh, you had a show because you're friends with Kevin Smith. If you know the way TV works, they don't give a fuck who you're friends with. And they don't, obviously, they fucking canceled our show after 7 years. So, like, it didn't matter if it was Kevin or who Kevin's friends were. It's like you don't have a show for 7 years because you're buddies with somebody.
Well,
and you're not able to do what we do. If you're
speaking
just
of
buddies
buddies,
with somebody.
speaking of buddies with
I've been
someone
in hot water for 7 years. Thanks, Anthony. Oh, never mind. Go on.
Speaking of buddies with someone,
buddy.
I have one of Shuli's best buddies ready to come on the show and join us. Cardiff Electric, live from Pottstown. It's here with us.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Cardiff?
Live from Pottstown.
So what do you think about all this? You've been watching what we've been talking about. What's
This
your
is
take on it?
fantastic.
So silly.
No comment. And DJ does take the blowjob. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a good one, man. I have to say, like, I was ashamed in front of my wife when she heard that joke. She
Cardiff,
was like,
sorry, go ahead.
no,
Cardiff, are you going on stage before Shuli?
Shuli's featuring tonight, I believe. So I will be going on after him. I guess.
Fuck, I was going to say you could steal his opener by leading with the BJ joke.
Yeah, or the incredibly real and funny pussy fart joke.
Don't worry, guys. I will be stealing someone's jokes tonight, but it won't be Shuli's.
Are you doing Chad's act tonight, or are you doing Stuttering John's act? All right, no answer on
DeVito
that
is
one.
doing 8 minutes of roasting. What is wrong with them? Would you please film that, Cardiff? Would you please? Can't you power a phone with a potato? Can you please film him doing 8 minutes of making fun of people? Are you kidding me?
The entire comedy show will be filmed tonight, so there will be footage. Don't you worry, Gene. But it's only an hour away. Oh, come on down.
Oh, you know what I have to do? Anything fucking else. That's what I got to do.
I also thought it was amusing, real fast, Carl.
Yeah.
That when I was listening to MLC after I got off of Chad, Bob Levy was pissed, and he's like, you old wrinkly bitch. And I'm like, Bob, you're older than I am. And the second person, I saw Stuttering John sent a message like that he wouldn't be doing Chad Zumock's show because he had some old grizzled motherfucker on or whatever. And I'm like, John, you're also older than I am.
That's hilarious.
That's like me going around calling people fat. I'm like, hey, look how fat you are. It's like, oh, well, dude,
Why'd you point at me, dickhead?
I love that you called Mike Morse and I don't have a problem with Mike. You called him what is a fraudulent fat person? What did you call him?
I don't remember. Yeah, but he is. It's like he has a skinny face, so he always takes pictures from like the neck up, and then but you'll see him, and he's like he's a big fatso, just like me, and I don't enjoy that. I don't like it. You either wear it proudly, like Lizzo, or fucking go on a diet and be a real
he's not
going to
sell his comedy classes if people know that he's overweight. That's part of the whole image you have to have when you're teaching people
they don't
comedy.
know fat people are funniest, right?
Oh, that's probably true. That's a good point. I feel like I'm doing Chrissy Mayer's Simpcast right now. I've never done a show with like 6 people on here all yelling at each other before. I don't know if this is the right format for me or not.
By the way, in my defense, all I was saying about the writer's strike is the model is broken. Can I just say 2 sentences?
Yeah, you definitely can.
I get it. I'm Ray DeVito. I get it. I get it. I'm
Ray DeVito in this show right now.
But I'm saying it's the old model. And when Shuli says, "I'm sorry, I don't know famous people," that's the delusion of the new model in like the MLC world. Like Ray DeVito's like a famous. It's all infamy now. So it's like real famous people. They won't be in this world anymore. They have shit to do.
Can I ask a question about Ray DeVito? Because I know nothing about him. I know nothing about his comedy.
You must be in the industry. Go on.
Whenever he's on, he really they make fun of him all the time for being childlike, and he definitely has a 1,000-yard stare. Is he is he on the spectrum or something? Or this is a real question. I'm not kidding around. I'm not trying to be an asshole.
Cardiff, you have a comment on that? Go ahead.
Cardiff,
Well, on a recent stream I did with Ray DeVito, he played
Quit bragging.
he played a comedy special, and you could see his lips moving while he was watching himself. He did appear to be a gorilla seeing himself. So,
oh boy! All right, I guess that answers that.
All right.
And he seems perfectly pleasant. I just don't know what he adds. Like when I watch him on MLC, I'm just like, aside from being a whipping boy, he doesn't. Doesn't seem like he adds that much.
He's there to be shit on, and he's so pathetic. Like Kevin of all people feels bad for shitting on him sometimes. Am I wrong, Carl?
No, he has said that multiple times. And I went on Ray DeVito's show on Thursday. He asked me and Hughesy to come on, and he didn't even realize that it wasn't going to be on the Shuli network because they're all going to Pottstown. So we didn't have producer Joe there, and it was such a clusterfuck. I'm like, Ray, maybe we can get Joe out here to save the show and run things, but it did not happen. I don't know that Ray is great at hosting a show at this point. He might get there eventually.
Let me flip it. What do you know that Ray is good at? Breathing out of his mouth.
He was able to ride his bike with a flat tire all the way to the stand.
Are you retarded? I said this when he literally said, it's a Sunday night gig. He says he's doing it for free. He says it's at the Brooklyn Comedy Club, which is a bar in Williamsburg called Old Man Hustle, right? Which is what Keanu yells when I can't come. And also, he rode his bike there, and I'm not gonna lie, I was one of the 38 people watching the stream. I said, how pathetic are you when you're riding a bike across a bridge to another borough for a free spot on a Sunday night? It is $5.50 round trip on the subway, and he got a flat tire, which he would say later cost him $60 because he's. I don't know what he is, but retarded people would fucking be insulted by him saying he's a comedian.
I want to say I do like Ray DeVito.
Of course.
I feel bad for Ray. That was a bumper. I was going to make fun of him.
You just said it. You feel bad for him.
I was going to make fun of him on his show.
Not the same thing.
And then he told me the story. And I was just like, oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. I tell you, no one feels bad for me. I got my jaw broken in 3 places, and they're like, yeah, I can see that. Yep. And I didn't ask for sympathy. I'm like, yeah, 3 places. Okay. No one was like,
Geno, I got a question for you. Do you live in a house or an apartment?
This is a, would you like a tour? And that's the other room. All right, so you're I live in a 3-room place in East Harlem. I do. I fucking love it. People make fun of me, but I fucking love it.
It looks really nice.
I was just wondering what your neighbors thought.
It's a terrified white woman.
Rightfully so.
For that fucking writer's strike to end.
Let me tell you something else about the writer's strike.
About the writer's strike next door.
I get it. I'm Ray DeVito.
Do they ever use their broom to actually sweep up, or is it just a pound on the ceiling to tell you to shut the fuck up?
I had the woman once because when I'm on the phone, I pace back and forth, and I must have had shoes on, and I made some noise. There you go. I'm just going to change my name to Ray DeVito, and everyone will be happy about it. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Well, Geno, thank you so much for joining us. I saw that you were observing everything that was going on this week, so I wanted to get your hot takes on the writer's strike.
Fuck. I was just comparing it to this.
I know what you're doing. People should watch In Hot Water, which is Monday through Thursday on Compound Media. Sign up for Compound Media at compoundmedia.com. That's where you can watch the Anthony Cumia show, and of course, In Hot Water with Geno Bisconte.
That's me. Dude, thanks so much for having me. Have fun, boys. I'll be watching.
All right, buddy.
Take it easy, Geno. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Come
do my show soon, like you said. Love you. Late. Have fun, Cardiff.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's not the same when he's not a potato, but I still enjoy it. BJ.
Hey, Doug, do you want to spend a couple hours listening to a horrible podcast and then a couple more hours cutting it up and trying to make something funny out of it, and then listen to somebody rant about the writer's strike for 3 more fucking hours?
I know. I'm the worst. And I feel like I do this to you every time. Doug, for some reason, he always ends up on these episodes where he's just like ignored and pushed into the corner. Like, all right, now we're going to talk about all this other stuff. And Doug's like, okay, thanks. Thanks for having me, guys. Anyway.
I'm well prepared to talk about Zumock and Shuli.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You wanted to talk about Zumock.
But not writer's strike. I have nothing on the writer's strike.
We got rid of Geno. It's fine. We don't have to talk about the writer's strike. But that's right. You actually had a take on Zumock because, is this his redemption arc? I don't know. But I declared that he had the W this week. Bryan Johnson obviously went on there and said he enjoys him and he enjoys what he does. And Doug had sent me a note saying, listen, I got to stand up for Chad, and I'll tell you why on the show. So I don't know anything else beyond that. Are you prepared to present this?
It wasn't that I was going to stand up for him. It's the same thing as what I said the last time I was on. I took his side and everything that was going on.
Okay.
It's if you've ever been in a street fight, you know, if it's one-on-one, there's kind of a set of rules. You know, there's some people that'll punch in the nuts or pull hair or whatever. I'm not one of them.
Right.
Cardiff, knock your shit off. But in the case of you and Chad, I understand everything that led up to where you two are at. I'm turning him off. I understand what led up to you two doing what you where you were at.
Yeah.
And then in Chad's defense, there's a bunch of people that just follow suit with whatever you say, so then they start doing it. So he's no longer fighting one-on-one. He's fighting 4 or 5-on-1. And in that case, he has to fight dirty.
Okay.
Which is making up lies and black eyes and all that shit. He's just trying to do something. He's reeling.
I see. And by the way, I think you bring up a good point. I mean, there's other angles to take than to reach out to people's ex-wives and post photos of their children and stuff. Those are things I wouldn't do, but I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, he definitely was confronted with the same thing that Stuttering John was, and John didn't handle it well. So Chad was like, I better do something different than that.
I get all my internet news from Lucy Tightbox, so that's the only. What I know is there are other people that are bringing up like Chad's dead brother, making jokes about him.
Yeah, which we don't do that.
When it starts spilling out, it's not just about podcasting or observing and reporting. It starts to become about real life, and you have to respond accordingly.
You're referring to April Loosebox of Steel Toe.
That's right. Bryan also came out. Well, I'm just shitting on all my friends today. Bryan also came out and said how much he hates Steel Toe when he was on with Chad Zumock.
To test him, whenever I'm texting with E-Rock and Steel Toe comes up, it's always his boyfriend Steel Toe.
That's funny.
He loves him.
All right. Well, Doug, you know what? You bring up some good points. I think that the way Chad has gone about this is the wrong way, but I don't know what the right way is. So I don't know what I would recommend, to be honest with you. I mean, actually, no, I actually do know the answer to that now that I gave it a quick second as a thought. Be funny.
Yeah.
The thing that Chad never does
have fun with it
is have fun with it and be funny. Yeah, he does not know how to do that. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was processing Bryan being on with Chad and me enjoying that and all of the stuff that was going on. I'm like, all of this was blowing my mind. And as I was processing it, I realized what it really comes down to, all of Chad's problems come down to the fact that he's not a funny comic. If he were a funny comic, none of these problems would exist. He wouldn't be stealing credit cards. He wouldn't have been kicked off the Alan Cox show. He wants fame really bad. He wants to be liked. He would have all of those things if he could just craft a joke and was just a funny stand-up, and he's just not. Am I wrong about that?
Aside from that, though, what I'm saying, the fucking writers, man, they're on strike.
All right, let's bring Geno back on. Geno, what do you think?
Yeah, where's Ray when you need him?
Yeah, where's Ray? All right, send Ray the link. Send Ray a link. Get him out of here. All right, Bryan, anything else that you want to say while you're on here? Again, I commend you on whatever you did this week. It was insane. It's very impressive that you were able to pivot so quickly and go on Chad's show.
We were doing a victory lap on your behalf here.
Yeah. I mean, you blew the whole thing up this week, and I don't know what the aftermath is going to be, but we'll see.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see if Shuli will bring down his full power on me. I don't know.
Bryan, hopefully somebody with a show will allow you to use your voice again sometime soon.
I hope so. Yeah, I finally got on a show that would let me voice that opinion. Boys, thank you. Always happy to do this show. Always happy to see you guys. If you want, go to tellemstevedave.com and you can find all the podcasts and stuff and Patreon links and all that other shit there.
By the way, I was on Twitter this morning and it was trending hashtag TESD. Did you know that? Yes, you were trending this morning.
I did not know. I didn't know that.
Fucking very cool. I clicked right over to it and it was all Tell 'em Steve Dave stuff. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
So, and also the next episode of Would You Kindly on Compound Media is going to be a doozy, I can promise. I know Kevin and Bob think it sucks, but they should give it one more chance. I think they may like this episode.
I agree. I'm looking forward to that next episode of Would You Kindly. Very much so. So, Bryan, thank you so much for coming on, buddy. I really appreciate it. And
no worries.
I'll just say it. I didn't know you had that in you. That was fucking incredible. And everyone enjoyed that. So thank you, buddy.
I've been unmedicated, so the anger comes out in different ways now.
Good for you. And maybe Mary Beth can join us in a little bit if she's around.
If that's okay, we don't want any trouble.
Yeah.
Who are these podcasts? WA